Yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you for finding time and visiting today's webinar on stress management, technique and solution, featuring by Mr. Pranjal Rawat. On the behalf of Digisaksham, this side, Ritika Negi as a host of today's event. We all are here for the webinar on stress management, technique and solution, organized by Digisaksham. Digisaksham is an initiative of the SEMS group, which has been developed content for over 300 courses in multiple languages, which range from 4 hours to 6 months in various sectors of IT, BFSI, retail, entrepreneurship for all age groups from school children, youth, professional, and senior citizen. Digisaksham has also conducted more than 100 webinars, 10 FDPs, and workshops, 6 international conferences. Digisaksham impacted more than 15,000 lives through various webinar, conference, workshop, seminar across the globe. Asking me about this webinar on this topic, stress management is a wide spectrum of a technique and psychotherapies aimed at controlling a person's level of stress, especially chronic stress, usually for the purpose of and for the motive of improving everyday functioning. And I also practicing yoga to take a relief from our day-to-day busy schedule and release stress. But yoga is not only one method, or you can say yoga is not a only method to confront these problems, but also so many. So to guide us all through this topic, we have with us Mr. Pranjal Rawat. Mr. Pranjal Rawat is an assistant professor in the management department at IHMS. His area of teaching include finance and marketing. Mr. Pranjal has more than 12 years of a teaching experience and research experience, and also have published and presenting research papers in peer-reviewed journals and conferences. In addition, he holds a master degree in education, economics, and finance from different universities. He has also worked as a finance executive in MMD, Noida, for 2 years. He has also connected with so many research fraternity groups from where he has attended so many webinars, seminars, workshops, conferences, and also present research paper on the different aspects. Now, everyone, with a huge round of applause, please welcome Mr. Pranjal Rawat, sir, to take over today's event. Please, sir, over to you.
First of all, thank you, Ritika, for the warm welcome and such a wonderful introduction of mine. I would also like to thank SEMS for giving me another time opportunity to express my views on the topic that is stress management causes and technique. These will be the learning or outcomes which you will be taking from today's event, that what actually stress is all about, what are the causes of stress, what are the effects of stress on a student, organizations, firm, and a homemaker. Stress management and its techniques, ways to overcome stress in your life, and tips from my side that how can you reduce the stress. First of all, we have to discuss what stress is all about. As I have shared 3 definitions of stress. Stress, a feeling of emotion or physical tension. Obviously, whenever you feel overburdened, agitated, or underestimated types, stress arises. Second, stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. Whenever we can have an example, suppose if you like something and you couldn't achieve this, obviously you will overburdened with stress. And nowadays we have seen stress is common, especially in youth. Next, stress is a normal reaction the body has when changes occur, resulting in physical, emotional, and intellectual responses. Whenever you have achieved of something and in case you couldn't find it genuine, obviously there will be chances of stress. How you react to a situation, it becomes your stress. Someone might be able to reduce their stress and someone might not be able to reduce their stress. Later on, we will discuss in detail. These are the causes of stress. Few I have shared in the form of like a pictorial form: depression, noise, health problem, negative thoughts, overweight, nervous reactions. So many things are there, but few I have mentioned there. First, being under lots of pressure. Sometimes we take so many responsibilities which we are not able to fulfill. As a result, we just being overburdened. Second, facing big changes. Sometime in life, there are certain problems arises in which we are not able to cope the changes. Like if I give an example, we can take the example of COVID-19. Especially in the field of teaching, it's been very difficult for most of us to manage like how to manage our like Google Meet, Zoom, GeoMeet. So this might result in the form of stress. Next, worrying about something. What will happen next? We just get stressed ourselves. Next, not having much or any control over the outcome of a situation. Sometimes we do lots of hard work, but we didn't get a positive outcome, which also result in the form of stress. Next, having responsibilities that you are finding overwhelming. Suppose the thing which you don't like and you have been given such kind of responsibility which you are not able to fulfill. So you will take tension which will result in stress. Next, not having enough work activities or change in your life. This type of problem arises the person having introvert personalities. They don't believe in change. They don't interact with social people. As a result, they don't have enough work or they don't have enough kind of activities to express themselves. Somewhere or in the upcoming course of action, they might also face the situation of stress. Next, times of uncertainty. Everyone know uncertainty. Like we can have the example of COVID, then we can have the example of Russia and Europe, which is resulting in the World War III. So this is can be the causes of stress. So we have discussed about what actually stress is all about. Then we have also discussed about the various causes which might result in the stress. Now, effects of stress. Few I have mentioned. Most of we are aware what can be the stress and what can be the effects of stress. Few I have mentioned like itches and pains. Second, chest pain or a feeling like your heart is racing. Next, exhaustion or trouble sleeping. You just woke up late night and then you couldn't have proper 8 hour sleeps. Headaches, dizziness or shaking, high blood pressure, digestive problems, immunity problem, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, sadness. These are the basic effects of stress, which most of us are aware what can be the effect of stress. We have also seen so many cases like deaths, especially young blood do such kind of action. Whenever they didn't achieve something, they take prompt action, like they do suicides. They just involve themselves in the wrong activities like playing of cards, speculation, drinking of alcohol. So this can be also be the effects of stress. Drinking alcohol too much or too often. This is obviously when you tried, but you are not getting proper result. So most of the youth take this as their habit. They start taking alcohol within limit or beyond the limit. They start playing gambling, overeating or undereating. Both are very harmful. Smoking, using drugs, and which we can find common not only in India but outside India. We have seen such consequences. We have seen such kind of effect which is arising from stress. Stress is something unusual and unexpected which you don't want to arise in your life, but it is unpredictable. Stress can arise in any form to anyone, whether to youth, whether individual person, whether a homemaker, whether a businessman, whether an entrepreneur. Everyone have to deal with stress. Use of innovative techniques, that how can we reduce our stress. Like we can do relaxation, we have training sessions, we have stress relaxations, we have breathing techniques, we have yogas. Okay, we have so many things from which we can manage our stress. Techniques of stress management. Here I have shared the 4 types of A's, which will somewhere help you all out in reducing the stress. These 4 A's are avoid, alter, accept, and adapt. Yes. First is adapt. It simply means to change. Don't try to be rigid. Try to be fluctuate in nature. Try to be flexible in nature. Or try to cope any situation, whatever is arising in your life. Few I have mentioned, adjust your standards. Don't try to be egoistic. Whatever I have said, it is correct. Set or adjust your standards as per some other choice. Next, practice of being thought every time. Try to bring out new thoughts every time which you want to achieve in your future. Next, reframe the issue, new way of thinking. I have already mentioned it. Don't try to be rigid in nature. Don't believe in traditional working approach. try to bring something new. Like here I can share an example. Like earlier we used to do blackboard teaching, but suddenly in the 2021 there was COVID-19. Everyone have to follow the online classroom platform. Most of you were using Zoom app. Most of you were using Geo app. Most of you were using Google Classroom for the teaching learning process. So this was the innovative. This was the change which most of we have adjust. Bring positivity. Try to bring out positivity or think positive. Don't think negative. Don't think negative. Create an assets column. It simply means what are the most relevant things in your life, and you just focus on them to achieve these relevant goals. Next is things big. Most of the entrepreneur, most of the businessmen, and most of the youth, they can think big. Like they can have vision, they can have mission, which they want to achieve in future. Though it might be difficult, but it is not impossible. Next, yes. Next, A is accept. Here I have mentioned 4 points. Talk with someone. It simply means if you don't like each and every individual person around you, don't try to poke or don't try to enter unwillingly. You just consider that particular person who can be your well-wisher, who can you trust more, who can you trust blindly and share your views personally. Next, forgive. Forgiveness is the key for every individual. Next, practice positive self-talk about yourself. This should be the common routine for every individual. We can also have practice positive talk. Like we have to talk about yourself that what I am doing, what I can do, and what I will be doing in the upcoming 5 to 10 years. So there should be a positive thought, or there should be positive views about my past, what I have done, present, and what will be in my future. I have to think positive about myself, that I can do this, I will achieve this, and definitely I will be achieving this. Next, learn from your mistakes. Every learner learn from their mistakes. The person who have not done mistakes in their life, they can't be a good learner. So it's basically, if you try to accept your losses, you have to work upon your losses and try to gain what you have lost and try to convert that positivity and focus till your task and goal doesn't achieve. Yes, alter. Few points I have mentioned. Respectfully ask others to change their behavior. You can't directly say someone that you are very rigid in nature, or you are very introvert personality, or you are very egoistic. You can't say directly to that particular person. Try to find out some other ways, respectfully, humbly, and ask that particular person to try to change his or her nature, so that it will result in positivity and a long relationship with you and that particular person. Next, communicate your feelings openly. You have to be extrovert, not every time, but usually you have to be extrovert so that you can share your feelings, you can communicate with everyone whom you want to express. Next, time management. It is the most key important aspect of stress management. If you are successfully able to manage your time, you have to set your priorities, then only you can manage your time. Like which is the relevant things for us and what are the irrelevant things for us in our life, then only you can manage your proper time, or you can balance your personal and professional life. It is possible when you give equal time to your personal and your professional life. Next point is set priorities. Everyone have to set their priorities in their life. Like you can rank your priorities A, B, C, D. Which priorities is most important? You can focus on that. Then followed by B, followed by C, followed by D. You have to set up their priorities. Like these things are more important for us. You just try to achieve that task first and followed by next and next. Pre-planned structure. Your structure should be pre-planned. Whatever your objective, whatever your goals, what are your vision, whatever you want to achieve, it should be pre-planned. If the things are not pre-planned, then my dear friend, you can't achieve anything. So these were the basic about alter. This is avoid. First point is take control of your surroundings. A common key. Not everyone sitting around you is your friend, or not everyone sitting around you is your enemy. If I'm not wrong, you can have the example. I can share my example. Recently, I just watched the movie The Kashmir Files, in which one person revealed about particular person where he is living right now, and on the spot he shot dead. So you can't trust each and everyone who is sitting around you. The person who is sitting next to you might be your enemy. So take control of your surroundings. You have to think whom you have to trust and whom you have not to trust, whom you have to discuss your feelings and whom not you want to discuss your feelings. So be aware of that. Next, avoid people who bother you. There are so many people, yeah, there will be so many people in your life who will come and try to distract you from your goal. So try to avoid such kind of people. Whether they are your best friends, try to avoid them. You can say just I am focusing on that, don't disturb me out. So avoid such people who try to create distraction or who are just creating problem in your business or in your personal life. Try to avoid that person. Third, learn to say no. Bring out the feeling to say no, but there should be some sense to say no. You can't directly say, like I said, you have to do this. You can't directly say, no, sir, I can't do this. There is some sense, there is some another way of saying no. So when you learn how to say no for such kind of work which you don't want to do or which you don't like, so say, try to bring out the habit of no. Next point, set up priorities on the basis of ABC categories. I have already discussed that. You have to set up your priorities, like you can rank your priorities according to ABC. If you think my C priorities is most important, then my dear friend, focus on C rather than AB. If you have priorities are A, then focus on E rather than B and C. If you have not set up your priorities, then you won't be able to achieve any of the task or any of the goal which you have planned for your future. So try to set up the priorities in your life. These are the tips for less stress. First, use guided meditation. You can go to gym where there will be coach who can guide, who can tell us the meditation technique which will help you out in reducing the stress. Next, practice deep breathing. Maintain physical exercise and good nutrition. Try to find out 20 to 30 minutes for your workout or for your physical exercise, as well as take good nutrition. Next, follow proper balanced diet. You have to take protein, vitamin, minerals, fats, carbohydrates in equal quantity. Next, manage social media time. You have to manage out your social media time. Don't be involved every time in social media like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. Try to manage your social media time. Like you can make the priorities. How much time shall I have to spend on social media? How much time shall I have to give WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram? It's your social life. It is your right to interact with social kind of people, but don't involve yourself too much in your social media platforms, which can destroy or which can lose your career and your job kind of things. Next, connect with others. I'm not talking about your family members. I'm not talking about your relatives. You can connect with someone, people who are correlating with your interest level. You can connect with particular person. You can have your views. You can have your ideas. You can have your suggestions from that particular person, as well as you can also share your views, your opinion, your suggestions toward that particular person. The tips for your stress management, like do regular exercise, focus on your hobbies, meditation, do yoga, enjoy the nature, time management, listen to music, therapy, and spas. Yes, this is the last slide. Stress management in your life. And how can you manage stress in your life? You can do meditation through deep breathing. You can do exercise, morning walk, evening walk, cycling, etc. Time in nature. You can also give your time to the nature. Next, sleep well. It simply means you have to take 8 hours sleep at any cost. Then only you can manage your stress. Connect socially. This is a very common trend nowadays. Everyone, we have also know that human is a social animal. So you have to interact, you have to connect with your social. It can be through your social media platform, or it can be you join a club, you can join kitties, you can join webinars, you can join parties, etc. But try to be socialized. Next, eat well. Try to eat, try to follow a proper balanced diet. Try to eat outside food. Try to avoid junk food. Try to avoid fast food. Try to follow regular balanced diet. Try to eat homemade food as much as you can. And next point is make list. You have to make the list of your prioritize things out which you want to achieve first, which you want to achieve second, which you want to achieve third. Or simply you can set up the priorities on your regular basis, like which task you want to do first, which task you want to do second and third. So set up the priorities. So this is the whole month of managing stress from your life. Now guys, over to you. If any questions or any queries in the chat box.
Okay, so there's a question. Being overthinking leads to stress is yes. Then please mention few ways to manage stress.
I have almost discussed it in my earlier slides that what stress is all about, what can be the causes. Nowadays, overburden, overthinking is the key cause of stress. This arises when you try to take too much burden on your shoulders, on your heads, and then you think whether I will be able to do it or not. It will be resulting in your stress. It is an old saying: the negative you will think, the negative result you will get. The positive you will think, the positive result you will get. Yeah, Ritika, next question, please.
Question is, if the stress is not properly managed, what could be the worst effect on our well-being?
There are few effects. There are few effects which I also discussed, like people start overthinking, health problem, your immunity problem, your personal and professional life both get affected. So if, like I have also said there are few tips or few suggestions, like you can do regular exercise, you can do meditation, you can do yogas, you can do your wellness, you can go to spas, you can go to yogas, you can go to wellness centers where you can reduce your stress. If from these techniques you are able to achieve, you just reduce your stress, then it's good. But if not, then it not only affect your personal life, but also it affect your professional life. Like in your personal life, there can be chances of fights between husband and wife. There can be chances of fights between your kids and your neighbors. If we talk about in your professional life, you can shout on your junior, or you can disrespect your senior or your boss. So it will result in your lack of productivity, lack of time management, lack of productivity. And the worst case can be your boss or your company can simply say that thank you for your valuable time. Now company doesn't need you anymore. So try to manage your stress.
What advice you can have to your colleagues who is stressed out about deadline at work?
If you have seen my slides, there were few tips, like set up your regularities, set up your priorities. I have also mentioned that like you have to set your priorities A, B, C. Yeah, if you have given deadline, so my dear friend, first of all, deadline will not be given you on the spot. You will be given deadline before the task or assignment have been allotted to you. It can be 1 week, it can be 2 weeks, it can be 3 weeks, it can be 4 weeks, it can be 5 to 6 months. But there is lot of time period given to you. So you have to manage your time. You have to set up your priorities. Don't do hangout with your friends while you are working. Don't just fully involve in social media while you are currently working your work. If you will be not focusing on your work, if you are totally busy in your social life, if you are living a luxurious life without managing your personal and professional life, so obviously your colleagues and you not achieve your task. So try to complete the task as per the deadline given to you, and it is possible. When you deal with the changes, you set up the priorities and you just consider your task, everything. And once your task get achieved, then you can hang out, then you can be socially interactive with your friends. But my dear friend, firstly, focus on the date and time which you have given for the task.
How can we manage the stress in the workplace if the cause of the stress is your office mate and boss? How to avoid such stressors?
Okay, yeah. I have mentioned in the techniques and what we say in the 4 A's, which I have mentioned in my alter, adapt, alteration types. So there were few points I have mentioned. Avoid those people who try to bring negative image of yours in front of your boss. Second, totally ignore that person who try to bring out complications in your workplace. Third, try to be choosy. Don't believe everyone. I have said that not everyone working with you in your workplace is your friend, and not everyone working in your place is your enemy. Okay. If the problem is from boss side, then as a friend you can consider to your boss, okay, sir, these were the problem which I was facing. If he or she understood your problem, then it's very good. If not, then try to find out the ways, then try to find out the solutions through which you can convince your boss. If still your boss and your colleagues are creating nuisance, creating disturbance in your workplace, so there is a quote: if you don't like the place where you are, don't change it, my dear friend, you are not a tree. As simple as that. You can give your resignation, or you can try to switch that particular job.
Okay, so there's another question. How to overcome the trauma that you experienced long time ago but keeps on bothering and stressing you?
Okay, it simple means, if few lines I have to give this answer, try to bring flexibility, try to alter the thing, and just focus what has happened in the past. Try to focus on your present, and try to make that present more beautiful for the upcoming future. Because if you will continuously focus on your past, it will affect your present, and once your present is affected, definitely your future is getting to be affected. So don't think about the past, don't be overburdened, just forget what has happened in the past, just forget what wrong thing just happened with you in the past. Try to focus, try to live in the present, and try to make your present and future more beautiful with the flexibility, and bring out some changes in your life. That's what I can say.
Right, sir. There's another question, that what are the indication if a person has a severe stress and what should I do to help them?
You can easily identify the person who is suffering from interest level. Like, he might be having anxiety problem, he might be feeling very lethargic, he will be feeling very depressed, he will be not interactively participating in the activities, he or she might shout even on a silly mistake. Again, he or she might not be taking proper nutrition food, they will not be communicating not only with their relatives, with their colleagues whom he or she will be working. So these are the parameters, these can be the signs from you can recognize a person is suffering from stress. Overcome and suggestions to reduce the stress: try to help him out as a friend, consider him as your friend, and try to ask what is wrong with that particular person. Don't behave like Hitler. Try to be social loving person. Try to treat that person as your friend. That's what I can say.
Thank you, sir. And last question of the day, what is your thought about taking an antidepressant pills when being stressed?
Okay, I would just simply say avoid taking anti-sleeping pills, because not only it is affecting your body, but it can be affecting your life. So avoid anti-sleeping pills. Try to focus on the last slide which I shared with you. Try to give few minutes to your yoga, have meditation session, have spas, have wellness. Uh, Try to communicate with your family members. Try to be socially activist. Try to be socially interactive. Try to be extrovert personality, and most important, try to make difference between your personal and professional life. Then only you can completely manage stress successfully from your life.
Okay, so those are all of our questions. Anything else, sir, you want to touch on before we move on to end of today's webinar? Any blessing or any advice to our audience?
Okay. First of all, I would say thanks to SEMS Welfare Foundation and the members who are just providing us these wonderful opportunities. There has been so many learnings in the today program. Like we have interaction with foreign culture, foreign peoples, as well as the people, as well as the student of our localite. There were lots of sharings in the form of question answer session. There were lots of learning. There were lots of questions that might resulting in the stress. And I hope and expect that from the today's session and from the question answer session, I would have satisfied most of you through this session. And my best wishes for SMEs Welfare Foundation owners and the members who are doing such a great platform, who is just providing great platform not only to the Indians but also to the foreign to interact through this kind of platform. My best wishes, and I would love and expect to see many more such kind of webinars. Might be in the form of different topics, but I would love to take many more webinars.
Thank you so much, sir, for an enlightening and entertaining presentation on stress management technique and solution, which usually people are not aware about, and just trapping themselves in the immense disease that is a mental disease such as depression and so many. Let me tell you facts and figures. According to the recent study, 26% respondents were suffering from a mild depression and 11% were feeling moderately depressed. 6% were facing severe symptoms of depression. And finding time and spreading awareness regard to this, just helping these increasing number to stop. And we appreciate having this mysterious area clarified and how to manage our stress and stay happy, healthy in life, even in the worst situation. I'm delighted to being the part of today's webinar. So, sir, please accept my deepest gratitude. Thank you very much, sir. And last but not least, I thank you all. We appreciate your being with us today. And remember, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Also tag us on Instagram, like #Digisaksham along with your screenshot in your story. Thank you, everyone.